It's the end of the week, which means it's the end of this week's memory challenge. So hopefully you did it. If not, that's okay because tomorrow you're getting a brand new memory challenge. And so this week when I went to the school and teach the students, I had them learn the cranial bones because why not have them join in on the challenge, right? So of course, with all the challenges I give you, I like to recall the information to show you that you actually can learn the information with the techniques I'm teaching you. So I want to make sure that I get all the bones. So I just wrote down all the different, I guess, groups like the face, hands, legs, things like that, just to make sure I'm saying them all. Because what happens sometimes is that when I'm recalling it, in my head I see the image, but I don't say it. But since I saw it, I thought I said it, so I just keep going. So I just want to make sure I just recall it all. And of course, I'm going to have on one of the sides all the bones, so you can make sure I'm actually saying them all. So of course, this does not have like 100 bones on it or anything. It just has 10 things. So I'm not using this to help me remember the actual bones. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first one is cranial. So okay, for the cranial, you have the frontal bone, uh, parietal bone, temporal bone, occipital bone, and the occipital. Yeah, you have the sphenoid bone, then the ethmoid bone. Then you have the ethmoid. You have the mandible, maxilla, palatine bone, um, palatine bone. Then you have, I believe, the what I see it, the zygomatic bone. There you go. Then you have the nasal bone. You have the lacrimal bone. Then you have lacrimal bone. Okay, yeah. Then you have the vomer. Uh, After that is I believe is the inferior nasal conchae. And so I don't know how to pronounce some of these words, so it might sound weird, it might be off, but I know if I saw it or if I had to write it, I could get it. Okay, so that was the cranial. Next is the ear. Okay, ear. So we have, that's easy, it's only three. You have the malleus, incus, and stapes. Okay, then we have the throat, which is the hyoid bone. Okay, then we have the shoulder, which is going to be the uh, scapula and the clavicle. And so, I know some of them have like multiple names for it. I could, if I want to, learn them all, but it just doesn't really matter as long as I can identify the main one. So, so next we have chest, which is sternum and ribs, pretty easy. We have the vertebral. I guess that's how you say it, vertebrae, but it's vertebral. So for that one, we have the cervical vertebrae, the thoracic vertebrae, the lumbar vertebrae, the sacral vertebrae, and I believe the last one is the um, coccygeal vertebrae. Okay, so now we got that. Now we're going to the hand. So there's like multiple parts to it. The first one's like the carpal, the wrist. So the carpal, we have scaphoid, or yeah, scaphoid bone, um, lunate bone, the triquetral bone. Um, okay, then we have the pisiform bone. Some of these I'm not sure how to say, so it sounds weird. Uh, so then we have the pisiform bone. Then we have the trape, the trapezium bone. Then we have the trapezoid. Um, wait, okay, the trapezium. There's no bone. Then we have the trapezoid bone. Then we have the capitate bone and the hamate bone. So I believe that's all the hand. Forgive me, if I stumble a little bit. I just want to make sure because in my head, like I'm saying, I've seen it. I'm jumping ahead, so I'm trying to backtrack to fix any mistakes I make. Okay, so next we have the pelvic, which is the hip bone. Pretty easy. Leg, we have femur, patella, the tibia, and the fibula. Okay, and then the foot, the last one. Um, that's going to be the... Oh wait, for the hand, I totally skipped. For the hand, uh, we have the metacarpus, which is the metacarpal. Then we have the phalanges, which is the proximal, intermediate, and distal phalanges. Totally skipped that, my bad. Um, and that's all the hand. Now for the foot, we have the tarsal, which we have the calcaneus bone. We have the talus. We have the navicle bone. Um, then we have the medial, intermediate, and lateral cuneiform bone. I'm pretty sure that's probably not how you say it. Then we have the cuboid bone. Okay, then we have the metatarsus, and we have the metatarsal bone. Then lastly, we have the phalanges for the toes, which are the same as the hands. You have proximal, intermediate, and then lastly, distal, bone. And there we go. I believe I said them all. I totally skipped the hand, the other parts of the hand. I was like, yeah, I got them all. I just went on. But I went back and fixed it because I realized, whoa, whoa, whoa. When I was at the foot, I was like, oh yeah, there was more to the foot, just like there was to the hand. And so there you go. I learned all the bones today, actually. Maybe like in 30 minutes, something a little bit less. So yeah, so it's pretty cool. We can like say all the different bones in the specific part. Oh, I forgot forearm, which is humerus, radius, ulna. I thought I wrote that down. Apparently not. So there you go. Now I have all the bones, I think. So I'm sorry, if I skipped some stuff like that, because the way I memorized it, the way I learned the bones was, you could say, "Okay, give me all the bones in the hand." That's how I learned, so I could just say them all. And so the gaps or like the information I was skipping is because the way I learned it, I was just going through like someone were asking me like, okay, what are all the bones in these specific areas? And so I forgot the forearm bone, the forearm region, and so I totally forgot those last ones, but I got it, I remembered it. But yeah, because I looked at my hand, I was like, oh yeah, forearm. So yeah, so there you go. Hopefully, this is just proving to you that you can actually use these techniques to learn kind of pretty much any information out there, that there's no limit to what you can learn. And hopefully, you start getting involved in these challenges and just do them for your own self, It doesn't really matter if you memorize all the bones for me or anything. As long as you tried and you learned something along the way, that's what matters. So yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed this video of me messing up and recalling the bones and skipping information, then going back and fixing it. But I look forward to tomorrow because we have a new challenge. But also I'm going to try to do two videos a day, but the other videos will be kind of more of alerting information constantly. And so you'll see tomorrow what that is. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And until then, I'll see you next time.